Okay, hello everyone, good day. So now I will be discussing to you the answers of all the problems in our activity last time. So from problem 1 to problem 2. 12, I mean. So for this discussion, I will first read the problem and then each line item. So we will identify if current liability siya or non-current liability. So let's start with problem 1. So on December 31, 2020, Glare Company provided the following information. So accounts payable including deposits and advances from customer of 250,000. So again, accounts payable, that's automatically part of your current liabilities. Okay, that's why appeal siya diri sa atong solution. However, as you can see, ang amount lang here is 1 million because ari man din nakasuwat nga may naapil nga deposits and advances for 250,000. So, although ina siya nga part is still part of your current liability pero separate siya nga line item. That's why ako siya gibutan diri sa ubos, deposits and advances from customer 250,000. Okay, next line item. Notes payable, including note payable to bank due on December 31, 2022 of 500,000. Okay, so as you can see here, ang notes payable, kung wa siya'y nakasuwat, generally, that is part of your current liability. Pero kung mayara gan ising gisuwat nga date niya, so that's the time nga ato na siya i-check if moabot ba siya sa tong 12 months naton nga rule. So, dire, ang iya gisulti, out of sa 1,500,000 nga amount, may ara kunoy portion, which is ang 500,000 nga payable siya on December 31, 2022. So, as you can see, gikan sa 2020, so, ang 500,000 kay bayaran siya after 2 years pa. So, the correct solution nga ato ibutang here is that ang notes payable is only 1 million. Ang current portion niya. Kaya ang 500,000, that is part of your non-current liabilities. Next, share dividend payable. Okay? So, share dividend payable, ako lang po gi-add diri sa ubos. So, these are share dividends distributed to the owners for additional shares. And because shares are part of your equity and not an asset, so amo na nyo mandaan ha, share dividends do not become liabilities when declared. So, dili nato siya i-appeal kay dili man siya part sa liability. Kay if ato natin na siya entryhan, ang ma-involve lang nga mga accounts, is ang imo retained earnings, which is equity na nga portion. Imo paid-in capital and retained earnings. So, more on that on the later part in this course na, kay that is already included in the shareholders' equity. So, okay, so dili na to i-include ang share dividend payable. Again, manday lang ha, share dividend. So, there are different kinds of dividends. But in this particular dividend, dili siya dapat ma-appeal sa liabilities. Next, credit balances in customer's account amounting to 200,000. So, kung musulti kita credit balances in customer accounts gani, that is your accounts receivable. So, if ang accounts receivable gani siya, that is part of your asset man. Nya, ang normal balance sa aton asset is always debit balance. So, positive siya. Ang nahitabo diri kay nag-credit balance sang 200,000. Meaning, ang nahitabo sina, nasubraan bayad ang customer. So, since nasubraan man siya bayad, it is our liability nga refundan siya sa iya sobra nga gibayad. So, again, so ini siya, that's negative AR. That should be included in your current liabilities. So, ma-appeal siya dire. Wait, ara yata sa ubos. So, next na lang. So, serial bonds. Okay? So, ari diri ang credit balances. So, that is part of your current liabilities. Next, serial bonds payable in semi-annual installment of 500,000. So, serial bonds, generally, that is long-term. Pero ang nakasuwat man diri is, ara siya semi-annual installment. Meaning, sa usa ka tuig, may ara siya magbayad siya kaduha. So, within the 12 years after December 31, 2022, may ara siya bayaran nga duha ka buok nga tag 500,000. That's why, since that is part of your current liability, kay bayaran man siya within 12 months, na-appeal siya diri sa taas. Serial bonds of 1 million. So, ako lang lang siya gibutan diri. Serial bonds are payable in semi-annual. So, ina siya, you can read that lang lat in your Google Drive. Okay? For the additional notes. Next, let's go here. Accrued interest on bonds payable, that's 150,000. So, accruals nimo, accrued expenses on bonds payable, that is also part of your current liability. Okay? Kay imo bayran yun, ini ka, mera minay yearly nga interest, which is imo yun bayran. Okay, next. Contested BIR tax assessment, possible obligation. So, in here, this is not part of your liability, but part lang siya sa imo disclosure. Why? Because ang nakasuwat diri is possible obligation. So, in our next topics pa, in next chapter, mabalaan ninyo nga if possible pa gani siya, so dili pa siya i-record or i-recognize sa aton books, but aton siya i-disclose sa notes. However, if probable na gani nakasuwat sina, meaning sina 51% na ang chance nga makabayad ka. That's why imo siya i-record na dayon. But if possible lang gani, that's only 50%. So 50-50 pa, may chance nga dili nimo bayran, may chance at nga bayran. So since wa pa may klaro, so dili ani naton i-recognize. Okay? So that is not part of your current liability. Next, unearned rent income. So sa diri, again sa unearned rent, meaning sina gibayaran ka na daan ni customer. Pero wa pa nimo na earn because wa pa niabot ang buwan. So for example, December 31 amin na siya ang unearned rent income. Nya ining 100,000 gaan kay para sa period nga January 2021. Okay? So, dili o pa siya nahuman, that's why unearned pa siya. Kay future pa man siya, inikat January 31, 2021, usa pina siya ma-recognize naton as income. But for now, mayara pa kitay liability at December 31 nga aton ihatag aton service sa customer, which is magparenta. So, that is part of your current liability as well. Okay? So, all in all, the total for the problem number 1 is 3,700,000. So, that's your total current liabilities as of December 31, 2020. Okay? And then for the MCQ, I also put it in here ang mga answers. So, you can check each of the items lang in the Excel file. So, I will just concentrate on the problem solving sa ini nga discussion or ini nga video. Okay? Sige. So, next. Problem 2. Okay? So, EC Company provided the following information on December 31, 2020. Okay? So, again, i-mind nga, ang date is December 31, 2020. First, notes payable trade, 3 million. So, again, if trade gani siya, within the normal operating cycle, ragid na siya, that is part of your current liabilities. Okay? So, apil gid na siya sa current. Next, bank loans. So, for the bank loans, kay wala may nakasuwat, di ba? Walay nakasuwat nga date. So, generally, that is within 1 year. So, aton lang siya i-part sa current liability. Kay within 1 year lang siya. Next, okay. Advances from officers. So, advances, so amo na siya itong mga tag-ano sa ila. So, that is part also in your current liabilities. Okay? So, ining tulo ka, note payable. So, that is part of your current liability. Next, accounts payable trade. So, again, the same reason sa trade, that is part of your current liability. Next, bank overdraft. Okay? So, ato ni siya na-mention before sa cash. Kung musuti kita bank overdraft, meaning, nasubraan siya issue sa cheque. So, daghan siya na-issue dito, nag-negative na noon iya bank balance. That's why atong gitawag nga bank overdraft. So, since nag-negative naman ang cash balance, di ba? Ato na ito na-mention before, pag-last nga, if negative cash balance, dili siya i-offset sa positive nga cash balance, di ba? Pero, it will be part of your current liability. So, that is part, apil siya, dire. Next, sige ini. Nakasuwat is dividends payable. Okay? So, sa problem 1 kalina, naghiskot at kita dividends payable. But, ang nakalahi lang nila is, ang sa problem 1, gi-state dito nga, shares dividend payable. So, shares man to, so that is not part of liabilities. However, diri, dividends payable, so since wa man niya gi-expressly specify kung what kind of dividends, then that would be generally payable by cash baron or kanang properties. So, since ang gamiton nga paghatag sa dividend is your asset man, so that is part of your liability. And generally, again, if wa nakabutang kung kanus siya bayaran, so ang basic assumption is that it will be paid within 12 months or 1 year. So, aton siya i-part sa current liabilities. Next, withholding tax payable. So, tax payable, that should be bayaran gid na siya every year. So, part siya sa aton current liabilities. Next, mortgage payable. So, ang mortgage payable, usually that is long-term, ang mga mortgages. So, that is not part of our solution. So, that is non-current liability. Next, income tax payable. So, just the same as the withholding tax payable, hindi na siya bayaran ASAP. Depende sa deadline nga giset ni BIR. So, that should be paid within 12 months from the end of the reporting date, which is December 31, 2022. So, that should be part of your current liabilities. Next, ay na ta. Estimated warranty liability. So, ang warranty, so, kabamo kita na nomini sa warranty, no? Amo na siya ang obligation ni seller sa mga products nga ayuhuno niya within a specific period of time. So, since iyami na liability good, makapagawas na siya asset if magpaayo na, so that is part of your liability and that is your current liability. That forms part in your current liabilities. Next, estimated damages payable by reason of breach of contract for 700,000. Okay, so if you were able to watch the video katong sa liabilities, na-discuss ini siya dito, which is part siya sa covenant. Diba? Ang covenants ara siya mga rules nga dapat iset. So, once ma-breach nimo, may mga promise ka nga na-break, so it will be automatically nga demandable na din siya. So, kung musuti kita'y demandable, meaning makolekta na dayon ni sa atong giutangan. Okay? So, since makolekta naman dayon, meaning within 12 months, mabayaran na gid naton si atong creditor. So, that should be part of that's included in our current liabilities as well. Next, accrued liabilities. So, accrued liabilities, generally, that is short-term lang. And that is part of our current liabilities. Next, so makita ninyo no, usa na lang kalinya. So, So, hain man sa tulo, nga may pa kita tulo ka item nga nakabilin. So, ato isa-isahon. From diri sa ubos. Contract entered into for the construction of building. So, as you can see, nag-signing pa lang sa contract, probably. So, if nag-signing na, di ba general rule, if signing pa, wala pa'y liability. Unless nag-down payment na ba or such. So, ini siya, wala pa kitay buhaton. And another reason is that if construction, di ba dili man siya mahuman within 12 months lat. So, it is expected nga long-term pina siya. And dili lat expected nga once ara na kontrata, inig ka after dayon sa tuig, magsugod na din sila build. So, na siya daw, madugay-dugay pag na siya ang pag-build. Next, claim for increase in wages by employees covered in a pending lawsuit. So, kaso-kaso gyapon ni. So, and if you know, if kaso-kaso gani dugay pagit kay na sa korte. So, dili dayon, there is a possibility nga within 12 months, usa lang ka hearing. Ini ka after 2 years, another hearing. Before pa, ara ang final nga judgment. So, dugay-dugay pag na siya. So, that is not part of your current liabilities. Next, so that leaves us with estimated premium liability for 200,000. So, ato natin na siya na-mention dito sa aton previous nga video. So, sa premiums, that is part of your current liabilities. So, all in all, total niya is 14,100,000. So, may additional notes gyapon diri and the MCQ, just check it sa file. Okay, so ako lang na siya i-end diri for problem 1 and problem 2. Kay diba as promised before, I will try to limit my videos to 15 minutes lang kay basta hindi na kamong makatulgan na ninyo ang video. So, let's stop here and then I'll make another video for problem 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay?